I fought off cancer and a true crime imposter at the same time. Hello, lovelies. It's Victoria, your favorite steampunk, gothic, and true crime author. If you don't know me, I've written over 30 steampunk and gothic dark romance novels, plus my first true crime imposter novel entirely about my 9 months with Lucifer. Let's back up a little bit. The winter of 24-25, I was very sick with COVID and I moved. And then I found out that the subject of the book was an imposter. So it was already bad enough that I'd been through all this trauma and then find out this guy's not for real. And it gets worse because he'd done this before, left St. Louis and came back and did it again. So I relocated to my new apartment, which I'm sitting in right now, and got a new job and, thought I'd moved past everything. And then little things came up and I found out the truth. And then signs that he was still stalking me kept popping up. I was going to let it go. And then the floodgates opened with all these other victims and people that knew him. So I wrote a book. Fast forward to this past winter, I did all my annual visits, but I kept having trouble getting in to see my gynecologist. And then finally, April, we get in. And so began the long journey on getting tested and finding out that I had cancer. Now, of course, at the same time, I released the book, St. Louis Lucifer, How I Danced with the Devil in the Midwest Moonlight. I interviewed and contacted so many people, and then I started setting up book signings. I had my first book signing at St. Charles Library and a couple others at Troy Taylor's Oddities Museum in Alton, Illinois, and of course the famous Lemp Mansion here in St. Louis, Missouri. I had at least one that I canceled because, of course, Andrew and maybe some people he knows made a couple phone calls. But that and the cancer diagnosis didn't stop me. And about a month before the surgery, I managed to do a couple of really good podcasts that are out there, and the one is starting to go viral. St. Louis Lucifer is available on all platforms. And again, any money I make from the book goes directly to me to help with my living expenses as an artist, as a professional, and also my cancer treatment. I'm a week out from surgery and doing pretty well so far, still in recovery. And if true crime imposter books about a St. Louis imposter is not your deal, I have plenty of my steampunk and vampire books on all platforms. Amazon, Barnes & Noble, the Google Play bookstore, iBooks, and lots of smaller stores. And yes, more stores being added all the time. Schmlink in my schmio. TikTok doesn't want you to say that. I appreciate the likes, shares, and follows.